to give my evaluation to my friend Deb this morning. And thank you so much for presenting an awesome speech. And as this is your second speech, I say that it was even an improvement of from your first speech. The goal of my evaluation for you, Deb, today is to help you modulate from a good speaker to an even better speaker. I want to share with you the things that you've excelled at during your speech, things that I have identified that you can work on, and then maybe a few ways that you can challenge yourself, as I challenge myself with this.
Here, let me help.
Right away, you drew us in with those emotional stories of your two clients, and you grabbed our hearts. That was excellent. That was a beautiful opening. I love your use of the word imagine. You had it on the screen. You used it several times during your speech. That is such a powerful word that everybody can really relate to and connect with. I felt that you were very confident in your use of the PowerPoint and the technical aspects and the use of your note cards. So that was a good thing that you did. You have a natural humorous presence, and you always bring it in, whether it's a serious subject like you were sharing today or a lighter topic, but we really appreciate your personal humor and your take on life and your way of laughing at yourself. Your speech was well organized. I really loved the way that you circled back at the end to connect with those personal stories. That was really powerful, and I was waiting to see if you were going to do that or not, and you did. That was very good. And we got to know more about your career and your focus on helping children know their worth. What I feel like you could work on would be to know your worth. That would help you in your confidence in speaking and sharing presentations. As I've demonstrated within this own speech, I also have a problem with saying the word and I believe that you also choose as a favorite word. My suggestion to you is to pause and take a breath. When we use the word we are getting a little bit confused in our brain. We don't know exactly where we're going. So take a breath, take a moment. That relaxes everybody, and that will relax you as well. My challenges to you would be to try to memorize it, to try to rehearse it more than you think you need to, and try giving the speech without the PowerPoint. In one of Espen's recent speeches, the PowerPoint didn't work, and he had to not scramble, but he had to think on his feet and come up with an alternative, which he did. So practice it without the PowerPoint in case that happened to you, and you might even come up with more creative ways to give your speech if you didn't have the PowerPoint, and sometimes you will have it and sometimes you won't. The last thing I would challenge you to do would be to think of a call to action that would also grab us at the very end and give us something hopeful that, oh, even we could help people through trauma or something, or help ourselves through trauma as well. So Deb, very good job, and I really appreciate
The second speaker was Angela. Evaluating Angela is Craig. So this is the king of fillers introducing the king of pauses.
Thank you. Angela, this this was your second speech, and it was amazing. You did so many things so well. Your introduction that the Toastmaster read really led into your speech. That was really good. And you introduced the speech and telling us what we were going to do. You told us that it was going to be a speech where you could laugh at yourself and give us an opportunity to also laugh at some things. You told 3 stories. You didn't, sync it up with too many stories. You kept it to 3 really funny stories. That was great. Your gestures were good. I don't know if they seemed very natural gestures. I don't think you were even thinking about them, but you were on track with your gestures as well. Your use of the stage, your eye contact, these things were all really, really good for a second speech. This is amazing. And I agree with Barry. A breeding ground, college is a breeding ground. It's their embarrassment. I thought that was a really great way to introduce your topic. I'll finish the statement as, Barry kind of left off part of that. So does everybody remember the 3 stories? One about her haircut. She cut her hair off a little too short. I cut my hair a little too short. I had to shave it all off. I think Greg knows it too.
Okay, Barry too.
Barry still has a little bit left on his side. He just shaved the top. The Ford Pro. That was a great story. She forgot, turned the car off, went back upstairs. Had to call AAA again. Auburn University, the purple shorts. I wrote down pink, but they were actually purple and they had some design on them. We still don't know how those shorts ended up there, but these were very, very funny stories. Your conclusion was very well done. And because you summarized what you talked about and you gave everybody a chance to realize that your speech was coming to an end. This was very, very well done. And so for me it was tough to find a couple suggestions, but I have a couple. One is to maybe modulate your voice just a little bit. Although you appear to be a little bit soft-spoken, you're not. You were very clear, but there could be times when, for example, your pink shorts. And there were my pink shorts. You could just emphasize it just a little bit more. And you were very, very funny. And the other suggestion would be to maybe enter a pause. And let it just soak in a little bit. Those are my 2 suggestions. You were very confident, and you used no notes. I loved it, and I hope to see more of your speeches more frequently.
I'm actually in complete shock this morning. I think I heard 2 fillers. Unbelievable. From you. And the 3rd speaker this morning was Hay, evaluating Hay is Carol.
My little runner friend. There are so many active people in this Toastmaster group, and I'm one of them when we meet each other on occasion at the incline, so you can tell what kind of woman this is. Hey, to me this was an overall package of great articulation, explaining everything about your blog. I can understand why you have over 1 million viewers, because your passion just shines forth, and obviously, because of the passion, how it was written so organized, and people were probably hanging on the limb. You've done so many different things so well. Obviously, I just spoke about the organization and your passion. You use quotes. I love that. You use your experience, and I like the way she correlated, if you noticed, not only talking about her blog and what she did on the Boston Marathon, but she talked about life. And that can relate to every one of us. And that, to me, how she had a starting line of commitment How many people do we need to know in life? In order to do things, we need commitment. She talked about her love from the family. That's commitment and love and honor. The middle, the unknown. But did you notice she talked about the sufferings and the hardships, but yet she brought it to light because it was worth it all. For the fact is, there was a goal in mind, and she talked about the hills. We know it's going to be steep, but thank God we're going to have to go down. She talked about the sidelines with the people that were encouraging her and the beauty along the way. So to me, that's very, very important how she implemented all those. The finish line, so important about the victories and accomplishments. We can relate all that to life as well. She used incredible pauses, and if you notice when she used the pauses, it was like she was saying, okay, folks, listen. Let that sink in by her expressions. And I love, she uses humor, and when she uses humor, she makes a big smile, so you make sure you get it. I just love that. She used examples from the audience. She used Greg and Tom with their accomplishments, so she drew us all in. And then, of course, the ending. She left us with a challenge. How can you create magical moments in your life? And that's her ending. What a great blog. Wonderful.
We are way behind schedule, so we'll try to speed up here, but can we get a timers report, Greg, please? Greg Williams? Timers report?
Yes. Mr. General Evaluator, 2 of our evaluators qualified. Carol came in right on the dot at 3 minutes. Craig was at 3:11. And Athena she had a lot of information. Almost gave a speech. And she came in, unfortunately, at 4:30.
Oh.
So Athena does not qualify, even though she gave a great evaluation.
Thank you. Louise, can we get an all-county report, please?
Yes, sir. Well, here's the list. Cully, Irwin, who double clutch, actually, Athena, and you used when you were searching for the word that you wanted to say next, and then you thought of it. Deb, couple, used about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but who's counting? It's supposed to be my job. Ooh, ah, ooh, oh.